In this section, we will be working with polynomials. Now, in this section, we have some definitions that you need to read through and you need to understand, beginning with polynomial. A polynomial is an algebraic expression composed of the sum of terms containing a single variable raised to a positive integer exponent. So if you look at example 1, all of the expressions listed in the left-hand column here are polynomials. They meet the criteria in that definition. An algebraic expression composed of the sum of terms, even if there's only one term, it still meets that criteria. Containing a single variable, if you look at these, there's only one variable in all of them, raised to a positive integer exponent. So in other words, you can't have fractional exponents or negative exponents. They have to be positive integers, so the whole numbers or a zero. So each of these in the left-hand side are polynomials. Now the next three definitions, monomial, binomial, and trinomial. A monomial is a polynomial consisting of one term, a binomial, two terms, a trinomial, three terms, all right, as the prefixes indicate. Anything longer than that, and you can just call it a polynomial. All right, so looking back at example 1, the first polynomial, we have 24a to the 6th plus a squared plus 5. That has 1, 2, 3 terms, so it would be a trinomial. The next one, we have 2m cubed plus m squared minus 2m minus 8. There are 4 terms in this one, so I'm just going to call that a polynomial. The next one, we have 5x squared plus x cubed minus 7. There are 3 terms, so that's a trinomial. Next one, we have 2 terms, negative 2x and 4, so that would be a binomial. And the last one, just one term, 4x cubed. So it would be a monomial. All right, the next definition is leading term. The leading term is the term that contains the highest power of the variable in a polynomial. So looking at the examples here, 24a to the 6th would be the leading term because it has the highest power of the variable. In the second one, 2m cubed. In the third one, you have to be careful. You have 5x squared plus x cubed. X cubed is actually the leading term, even though it does not come first. It's the leading term because it has the highest power. In the next one, we have negative 2x plus 4. Here, x, you can imagine raising it to the power of 1. That is the highest power. All right, so negative 2x is the leading coefficient. In the last one, is the leading term. In the last one, we have 4x cubed, and there's only one term, so 4x cubed, by default, is the leading term. Now the next definition, leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is the coefficient of the leading term. So for this first one, the leading term was 24a to the 6th, so the leading coefficient was 24. In the second one, 2m cubed was the leading term, so the leading coefficient would be 2. In the third one, remember, x cubed was the leading term. The coefficient, even though it's not written, is 1, so the leading coefficient is 1. In the next one, negative 2x to the first power, so negative 2 is the leading coefficient. And the last one, the leading coefficient is 4. All right, next is constant term. A constant term is one that has no variable written next to it. It is just a number. So in this first one, the constant term would be 5. In the second, the constant term, remember you keep the sign that's next to it, so this constant term would be negative 8. In the third one, negative 7. Here, a positive 4. Now this last one you're going to have to think about. There is no constant term written. So I'm just going to add in plus 0. Notice that I didn't break any rules by doing this, but now you can see that the constant term would be 0. Last definition on the list, degree. The degree is the highest exponent in a polynomial. So it's the power of the leading term. It's the exponent of the leading term. For this first one, the highest power is 6. So the degree of the polynomial would be 6. In the second one, the highest power is 3. So the degree would be 3. In the next one, got to be careful here, the highest power is 3. So the degree is 3. Here we have negative 2x to the first power. All right, even though it wasn't initially written there, the degree is 1. And for the last one, the highest power is 3, so the degree is 3.